Senator Marco Rubio of Florida. Senator Rubio, big day here, historic for our country. In your opinion, what does this mean for the American people?
Well, I think it's telling that a victory for the Obama administration means a middle-class tax increase, and that's exactly what this is. Let's be clear, the Supreme Court only rules on the constitutionality of things. They don't rule on whether it's a good idea or a bad idea. And I think after all the noise is done, I hope people back home fully understand what this means. And here's what this means. It is now unlawful for you not to buy health insurance. And if you don't buy it, you have an IRS problem. If you do not buy health insurance, the IRS is going to be on your back and chasing you. They're going to take away your refund. They're going to increase your fees. They're going to come after you. That's what this now means for millions of Americans is you don't have to buy health insurance, but if you don't, you're out of compliance and you have an IRS problem. And somehow the Obama administration thinks that's a victory. That's everything you need to know about that administration.
Let's talk a little bit about your power as a lawmaker now. I know you weren't in office when the health care vote went through, but right now, is there anything that the Senate can do that could change that outcome of that tax?
Listen, I think that no matter where you stand on this health insurance issue, and we do have a health insurance problem in America, I hope that we can reach some sort of common sense, reasonable consensus, Republicans and Democrats, that say, look, we have a health insurance problem, we have to do something about it, but getting the IRS to chase after millions of Americans for not buying health insurance was never the way we hoped this thing would go, because that's what we're left with now. That's what this means. And I hope that people back home understand that if you don't buy health insurance, you have an IRS problem. And who wants that? So I hope that even the Democrats here in the Senate will realize that this was never I hope this is not what they intended, and will repeal this thing and let's start from scratch, replacing it with some common sense approaches that somehow doesn't put all of these millions of Americans at odds and at war with the IRS.
Let's talk a little bit big picture here. What do you think this means for the Republican Party ahead of the election in November?
Well, look, this is such an important issue to everyday Americans that I hate to politicize it, but I think in many respects we're back where we were when I ran for office in 2010. One of the central issues of the campaign was this real anger at the overreach of the Obama administration on this health care law. And I think this now becomes a central issue again. In light of the other thing that happened today, which was important, is that a new report came out that last month economic growth in America was pathetic. It was anemic. And you think this is going to make it easier? Do you think the news that millions of Americans are now going to be chased by the IRS to prove that you have health insurance, do we think that's going to help economic growth or hurt it? So I think this goes right back to the argument about the economy. Just one more piece of evidence that the Obama administration is hurting economic growth in America.
Senator Rubio, nice to have your comments today as we continue to work through the news and the headlines. Look forward to having you back to talk more about this issue and others, of course. Senator Rubio, thank you very much. We'll be right back with more.